Welcome to the SourceLife Show. We feature the latest knowledge from experts around the world on living your ultimate life, covering all aspects of mind, body, spirit, and explore the latest thinking in personal growth and development. Join me, your host, Ayse D, in the ultimate exploration in becoming the best you possible. The SourceLife Show. Make your life a masterpiece. Henry Gold is an international keynote speaker. He is CEO of LimitlessLife LLC, a best-selling author, and is mentor to thousands of entrepreneurs and CEOs worldwide. Raised by a narcissist father, Gold understood many challenges of his audience and focused on helping them live their lives fully with courage and bravery, as well as fearlessness. Having been through significant life crises himself, including being homeless, poor relationships, sight loss, and even being diagnosed with a brain tumor, Gold turned his life around and now shares his principles to help others live their lives limitlessly. So please welcome to the show, Henry Gold.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you give me a chance to share with your audience, Ayse.
Thank you. So you're the founder of Limitless Life LLC, but what exactly is a limitless life?
Well, it came since since last year when I was diagnosed with the brain tumor,
Wow.
the size of the golf ball, which was 3.3 centimeter. So at a time, I thought to myself that, if I will be able to get out from this hospital life, I will share my secret on how a guy like me who used to work in the 7-Eleven convenience store, being called a loser for 30-something years by my dad, be able to build a business, be able to go through these emotional, abusive challenges and verbally abusive from my parent and my own dad, and then still pass through that. And I was also wanting to share at the time. I told myself that I was in a broken relationship. Right. My ex left me when I almost became blind. I was 90% blind on the left eyesight.
Wow.
And 50% blind on the right eyesight, which was like if you were sitting right here,
yeah,
and then you say hi to me, I probably wouldn't be able to see you, and then you probably think that I was arrogant. Not because I was arrogant, because I couldn't see you at all. Yeah. Pretty much right here was blank.
Right.
I was probably like this much vision left.
Wow.
One point before the surgery, I was like, I had this memory problem. Mm-hmm. Because the tumor started to touch the upper hemisphere of my brain, in which that, let's say I was making a phone call, and then it was a simple phone call wanting to make a reservation. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as I was on the call, I said, the lady on the other side said that, hello, sir, what can I do for you? I said, I forgot what I wanted to do. Then I hang up. Then I tried to remember again. And then I called back the number. Again, I don't remember why I called that person. I got so frustrated. It almost drove me insane. And then, so that was my wish. So that's how the limitlesslife.com born, because I want to share my message that every person, regardless of your situation, whether you came from broken family, whether you have a health related issue, whether you had been challenges or you almost became homeless. Like what I did, I almost became homeless. I was depending on the 25 cents of cupcake per day for many months to survive. And yet I'm able to live a life that I wanted to live with my family. Now I'm newly married, and I have a good parents-in-law. I get my godfather that is my father figure, and I'm able to travel to many different places, except in these last few months because I'm still in the process of recovery from my surgery.
Wow.
And then I used to be 238 pounds before the surgery, I was 173 pounds with 4-pack abs. Now, of course, after the surgery, I went back up to 204, but now I managed to went down to 188 pounds, and in the process to get my 4-pack abs again. So all these things are just because of the mindset, the way I think, the way I shift my brain into a new, different direction.
Wow. Like, so, you know, obviously there's a lot of history there. There's, you know, you've been through a lot, you've experienced a lot of, you know, there's been a lot of negative relationships or relationships that have taught you lessons, but I'm amazed that you're still in recovery and yet you've managed to turn things around so rapidly. And is that really just down to mindset?
Well, it's not just like that. It's when I look back in my life, for many, many years, I was, you know, paralyzed. I was broken. But one day, I wouldn't say that it without any help. I have a very strong godfather figure. Yeah. He's like my dad to me. My mom back in 2014 literally begged him, said that, please save my son. My mom was in tears saying that, you know what, please save my son, because I was like a loser. I was 238 pounds. And, you know, my face was like, like my hair was all over the place. I didn't shave for like almost 6 months or something like that. And then, and it was just, I was completely broken person. So at that time, my mother said that to my godfather and say, save my son. So my godfather was like, discipline me every single day, saying that this is not what you're supposed to do. A guy's supposed to behave this way and all these things. Right. So for me, I move forward, I step forward, I step up in my business, I work really hard. And then whenever I feel like there's a fear inside me, I say, you know what, screw it, screw this fear. So my mindset right now changed from like, oh, you know, what will people think about me? Because that was something that my own dad planted in my brain, that I was a loser. Every single day he will call me a loser for like 30 something years. Oh, so what happened is, whenever I saw someone, I felt that this person will call me a loser just because what my dad did to me. Yeah. So what happened is, with my godfather, he said like, you know, step up, keep moving forward. And then he literally yelled at me, scolded at me, saying that you are not a loser. Okay? Keep it. That loser person is between your dad and your dad. It is nothing to do with you whatsoever. So I moved fast forward. And then right now I'm no longer have brain tumor. Now I'm happily married. Now my business prosper. Yeah. Now I'm no longer like a 238 pounds guy. Now I'm because of the surgery, I couldn't do kickboxing, but I managed to go to gym all the time.
Wow.
And I still like, you know, right now I'm already losing 16 pounds, which is 188 pounds. And I'm in the process to get into 173 pounds again. Then I'm going to keep pushing forward. That's what I do in life. Yeah. And I want to share the message to the audience.
So where do you find your strength?
My strength is this. You have to surround yourself with people that love you for who you are. That love you for who you are. In the past, I was surrounded myself with people that full of anger, full of hatred, full of like a revenge, and look at you more like an enemies, look at you more like a competition. Right. But now I surrounded myself with people that supported me, that loved me, that care of me as a person. So when you surrounded yourself, there's a saying that your network is your net worth.
Yes.
Which is true. Because the people that right now, when I was in the downtime, I had no choice but to remove some part of my relatives, because they are so negative of me. because my own dad told them that I'm loser for like 30 something years. So what happened is, whenever I met them, they would look at me like, you're a loser and all this stuff. Why? Because your dad told you so. I removed them from my life. I distanced myself as much as possible. In fact, when my own younger sister passed away last February this year,
Wow.
okay, like a few months ago, what happened is I talk about my story on my blog about my dad and how he treated us, how he tortured our soul. And then one of my relatives attacked me, and then used my aunt to attack me, call me that I'm a loser and all this stuff and everything else. But yet I said, she doesn't know me. Who is she to judge me? Then I just avoided the whole conversation. And then yet that person asked my mom to attack me too. So a lot of things going on in here. Then I just like simply said, you know what? They attacked me because they felt inadequate. They felt that they are not enough. They have to bring down someone else with them.
Yeah.
So for me, I ignore them. And then I make sure the people that are around me are not people that are going to bring me down. I make sure that the people around me are the people who love me for who I am. So I have my godfather, I have got my god sister and the family, and then I also have my wife. I have my parents-in-law. That's good enough for me, which is maybe give and take about 10 people that truly care about me for who I am.
Yeah.
And then when I'm a little bit down, and what happened is it's like, I know you can do it. I know you're going to make it happen. I believe in you. I have faith in you. And boom, you're just going up all the way.
Fantastic.
That's what you want to do.
Well, I mean, how lucky that you have these people around you. But what advice would you give someone who doesn't have people that, support them and they feel like they're on their own?
Well, here's the thing. First step, remove all the toxic people in your life.
Right.
Remove them. Don't give them second chance, third chance, fourth chance, or whatever chances. When my ex cheated on me first time, I said, you know what? I forgive her, and all this stuff. And then when I almost became blind and she started talking with another person and all this stuff, I said, you know what? This is it. I knew I was the one who did the laundry. I was the one who cleaned the house. I was the one who did the cooking. I was the one who paid the bills. I was the one who did everything. She didn't do anything except making the mess in my house. So for me, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just tired of it. And then guess what? As soon as I said, you know what? This is it. This is done. And she was the one who wanted to break up and all this stuff. I said, okay, fine. You found another guy, go for it. Yeah. I said, but I did tell her one thing. I said, once this is over, it is over. I will never look back. It is done deal. And that's it. I just removed her. And of course, she was trying to get back and all this stuff. But I said, no is no. My no meaning this is an executive order. My yes is an executive order as well. So my word means everything to me. Now I also have another occasion where the partners, like I was doing a partnership with other people, and then these partners started to say, you know what, Henry and I'm like much stronger than Henry and all this stuff in front of the clients and everything else. I said, you know what? I give him one chance to correct that. And he didn't correct that. And I give him the second chance. And he didn't correct that. Then he said like, let's meet up and all these things. Let's meet up in New York and everything else. I said, I'm too busy. I need to play the Pokemon Go in order for, then I don't have the time. I'm too busy. I'm doing like that with everything that I do. Like when I was a single guy and I was going on a date, when I went on a date and I didn't like that person, or I don't think that I will be able to see this person for a long time, guess what? When I went on a date, it sounded cruel. It sounded really cruel, okay? I went out with her. I drove the car. And then I said, like, why don't we just go to the McDonald's? That's what I said.
God.
That's what I said.
Right.
And she said, I don't like McDonald's. And then I drove her home and I said goodbye. And that's what I did.
Right.
She said that I was so cruel, I was ruthless and all this stuff and everything else. But for me at that point itself is, I don't want to waste other people's time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to waste people's time that don't want me. So why waste the time that the people that don't want me to be in my life?
Right.
That was my characteristic.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? When I met my wife, when we was dating first time, you know, a lot of time people will give them like, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours to get in all this stuff. I put a meter on. Just to maximum 2 hours. That's it. And then after she was like so excited to talk with me and all these things, right? Everything.
Yeah.
I was looking at the time and then look at the time. Okay, I said, I'm sorry. It's like 1 hour, 45 minutes. I need to go because the meter is already on and I'm going to get a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I stand up and then I wanted to pay the bills and everything else. And then, of course, she's still like in the process of wanting to talk with me.
Yeah.
But for me personally is I respect my time. I wanted to see if this person want me for me, or if this person want me for just because of what I have. Right. So it sounded very cruel, but I found out that she didn't care what I have. She cared about me for me. At one time, we went on a date. I said, like, I need to help my godfather. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go to Dunkin' Donut with me? Right?
Yeah.
People said it was a task. But it is a task. It was a task. And it's like, okay. She just simply said that. And I was kind of shocked, I was kind of shocked. So I went on the date with her in the Dunkin' Donut for like only half an hour. And that was it. She was just happy to be with me and all this stuff. And then I took her home. I said, like, she passed every test that I had.
And now she's your wife.
Now she's my wife.
Your station.
You're listening to SourceLife Show. You can find us on iTunes Radio, Roku TV, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. You can also find us online at sourcelifeshow.com.
Your station.
But I mean, it sounds like obviously, your past romantic relationships, they did not sound like particularly nice women, and obviously things have shifted for you. You've obviously done a lot of inner work, and that's obviously why you have this amazing woman in your life who is not after you for your possessions or your money or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Well, it's not just about a lot of work. I put more work into improving me.
Yeah.
My teacher always told me this. My godfather always told me this. Invest in you.
Yeah.
Invest in what you can do to change yourself today. Like my tooth, you see, I wear braces.
Okay.
Because I want to invest in me. I wanted to make sure that because after you get into a certain age, your tooth going to fall off and everything like that. So I want to fix it first before it fall off. So everything that I do right now, I focus on investing in me, because as I get older, as I've been doing business for 20 years, I realized that I cannot change anyone. I can only change me. Yeah. Now, I can only change me. That is the only person I can change. Sure. I can inspire others from my action after I change me. So when I realized that, I just simply focus on changing me. And then when other people ask me, how did you do that? And that's when I tell them how I did it. When I talk about that to that person will appreciate every information I share with them. But if I just say that, oh, you got to do this, you got to change that, you got to change that, you got to change that, they say like, who are you?
Yes.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
They don't listen to you. So for me, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, so obviously it's the power of your story.
It is the power of the story, but it's also the power of what you want to do the rest of your life. Because I feel like I'm being given a second chance in life, especially after the brain tumor.
But energy, I mean, this is something that you have mentioned before, that energy is important to you. So you believe in the yin and the yang. And so how does that kind of, how do you incorporate that into your life?
The yin and yang, okay. If you look at the, I don't know how to say it in English, it's called pakwa.
Yes. Yeah.
Pakwa is black and white.
Yeah.
Okay. When there's a good thing, there must be a bad thing. When there's a sun, there must be a moon. That is the essence of life. So there's nobody can be 24 hours a day, the whole life, they're going to be great, they're going to be awesome all the time. They must have their own up and down. Okay. Yeah. So for us as a human being, our upper part of the body is called the yang energy. Our bottom part of our body is called the yin energy. So what do you want to focus on? So the more we focus on here, what we want to do instead of the lower part of our body, the stronger we become. Now, here's the thing that about the yang energy. Everybody wants the yang energy. Everybody will be attracted to the yang energy. Okay. But it is hard to achieve that. Look at all, whether they realize it or not, everybody will be attracted to famous people. Everybody will be attracted to successful people. Have you ever seen that everybody attracted to unsuccessful people? No. Have you, people are attracted to BMW. Like I have a BMW X5. So when, that was the car that I was attracted to. So I just bought that car.
Yeah.
So the thing is that, will people attracted to the Toyota, Corolla 1991? No. That is a necessity car.
Yeah.
Right? But everybody will be like, oh, okay, what kind of car does he have? He has a BMW. Okay, that's great. That's awesome car. That's a big deal. That's what people are attracted to because they want something beautiful.
Yeah.
The yang energy is a source of attraction. So when you focus on the yang energy, everybody want to grab you. Everybody want to go this way. And when people talk about, they don't talk about like, oh, I want to be like John Doe on the street, the homeless guy on the street. Mm-hmm. They want to be like Richard Branson, right? His energy, he's focusing on this. He's focusing on making this Virgin company become more successful than before. That's what they're attracted to. So the more you move, the more stronger you focus on what you want to have in life, the stronger you're going to become in the future. And the more people want to follow you from every direction of your life. That's what people want. Now, of course, in the relationship wise, I asked my wife one day, why was she attracted to me? She said that she liked it because she felt like I'm like a man. That's what she said. Then when I asked her, what do you mean by like a man? Before my brain tumor surgery, I was the guy, I was a person that went to the MRI by myself. I didn't ask my wife, can you please accompany me? No, I wasn't like that. I was like, okay, I got a brain tumor. That's good. That's what I said. Let me go to MRI by myself. Let me go to the doctor by myself. Let me do this, the surgery day by myself. Let me move the house by myself. I have to put every stuff that I had from the 2-bedroom to the storage. And then within the time frame of 6 weeks, and I have to do a huge campaign. I have to transfer my position from me to the vice president. I have to sell off a lot of my assets, and I have to do create a will just in case if I died.
Yeah. And
I have to make sure that my employee had 2 months of salary after my surgery, just in case if something happened to me. I need to give, I have to put up all all this instruction on what happened to me. I have to say thank you to all my friends, to my partners, to call my family, to Skype them, to set up a one-on-one call, all in a matter of 6 weeks. And when I asked my wife, what were you attracted to me? He said, because you are like a man. You don't like, just because of one thing happened to you, just like, oh, pull back right away. You just like, keep going forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. That's what I like in you. That is a source of yang energy. People want the yang energy. The yin energy will be like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. But you got to shift yourself into the yang energy every day. I know it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. That's why people get mentor and not everything else. Yeah. But you got to do that all the time. Otherwise, your life will be wasted, and you're not going to feel fulfilled. And you're going to have, like, by the end of your life, you're going to have a lot of regret. That's what I don't want to have. No. I mean, by the end of life, it's going to be difficult if you don't do anything. In fact, as a matter of fact, if you look at my profile on the Limitless Life about me, I was smiling before I got into the surgery room. Instead of like a sad and cry and all this stuff and say goodbye and everything, I was smiling all the way to the end. Why? Because I give my all. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to do the next when I'm still alive. Yeah.
So how do you get into that sort of yin energy? What do you do? What's the practice?
Well, it's going to be difficult. There are steps. Like I on my book, which is almost, I'm going to launch it very, very soon. I draw like from 0 to 5 of the yang energy, the yin energy. Yeah. People in between 0 to 5, it's hard to help them to get into the yang energy because their belief system is already like, oh no, people look down on me, people look at this. But the people that between 5 to 6 or 6 to 7 are those people that still have the hope to be one with the limitless, to be one with the yang energy. But it will create a lot of fighting. You got to be on guard all the time. You cannot be off guard all the time. And you always have to maintain what you already have. So let me give you an example. I will say this. There's what I wrote in my book. I call it the illusion of limitless. So I had a friend, and I'm not going to name. And what happened is back in 10 years ago, he was a very successful guy. And what happened is he made almost, he probably made about $50,000 a month. Oh. Then it was very good money already. Now what happened is when he made about $50,000 a month, the next thing that I know is, he started to slow down. He doesn't focus on, maintaining the relationship with his partner anymore. He doesn't really care about what his wife is thinking about. He doesn't really take care of his kids anymore. He doesn't take care of his body anymore. Oh. Fast forward 10 years later, he's overweight and his business in the brink of collapse. And then all partners ran away. And then his wife cheated on him couple times. And then his wife wanted to get divorced with him. Now, why is this happening? Because when he was at that point of reaching this goal itself, he stopped maintaining it. Right. He stopped maintaining it. So, for example, like with me and my wife, like tomorrow we're going to have a date. Okay. I don't need to have a date if I didn't want to, but I choose to have a date because I wanted to maintain our level of attraction between me and my wife. So because that's very important for me. So a lot of people, so let me share this with you. A lot of people, before they have a girlfriend or they have a boyfriend, they will do whatever it takes to get a girlfriend. They will do whatever it takes to get a boyfriend. But as soon as they get a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's like, she's my girl. Yeah, she's my boyfriend. Who cares? That's what happened. Yeah. So they don't maintain it anymore. And until one day, the girl said that it's enough. I don't want this anymore. I don't sign up for all this screw up life. That's what happened most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the reality.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what my friend did. As soon as he reached a certain goal, which is what I call the illusion of limitless, which is the Yang energy level 10, he stopped focusing on maintaining it, what he has already had, which is a sad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you reach this goal already, you maintain it. Like for me, regardless what happened, regardless how busy I am, I will still go out with my wife twice a month. I will make a date, like surprise date with her, going on vacation with her.
Oh.
Regardless, because that's what I do to maintain it.
Yeah.
So after we became boyfriend and girlfriend, I still go on a date with her.
Yeah.
After we become together, I still went out with her. Of course, after the surgery, it's kind of hard. Wait, after the surgery, 1 month after the surgery, we still go out of state.
Oh my
because
God.
I was able to drive. I was only able to drive, so I wouldn't be able to do anything else.
Yeah.
I still went out of state together, just the two of us. Even though I was kind of way too tired and I didn't have a lot of energy because at that time my brain function wasn't right because my hormone level was kind of low. I still go on a date with her.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to maintain everything, and then you achieve the next level of success. But you got to maintain it.
Right.
That maintaining itself is very difficult. And most people don't want it because they feel it's a pain.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
This is SourceLife Show, with experts from around the world in mind, body, spirit, personal growth and business development. We broadcast across America every Wednesday and Friday and on 195 countries around the world. For your chance to put your business in front of thousands of Americans, visit sourcelifeshow.com/sponsor. That's SOURCE lifeshow.com/sponsor. Once you achieve that level of success in your life, obviously you can't rest. You've got to keep going because it sounds like a kind of false reality almost, that once people think that they've hit that level that they don't need to work at it anymore.
Yep. That's what I do. I mean, even after my surgery, the doctor told me like I have to take a rest for 6 months. The second day after I was being discharged from the hospital, I started to cook for my wife.
Oh my goodness.
Started to fulfill my duty.
Wow.
I had a leakage on my nose. I cooked 3 meals a day for her. The second day. And then, but of course, I couldn't look at the computer because the light was too bright for me. My eyes was like too sensitive at the time because before I was only 40% left on both eyes. Wow. Now all of a sudden it's too bright. Like I received like 200% more light compared to before. Wow. But I still cook for her. I still went outside of the door to go to the grocery and then cook for her right away because that is my duty as a husband. Okay. And in terms of the business wise, as soon as I was like, I get out from the hospital, for 1 month, I read 2 books, this thick. One, like about 400-500 pages of book, 2 books. And I don't remember the title of the book, but I read 2 books. And then I started to review the notes that what happened in the past, what can I do in the future. I started to do just that. Instead of slowing down, taking a break. And of course, I was sleeping like 18 hours. I was sleeping 18 hours. So as soon as I wake up at 6 hours, and then I was trying to do the cooking. And then after that, I was like reading the books and listening to the motivational song, listening to all this motivational speech and everything like that. Yeah. And I just don't stop. Why? Because I want to maintain it. I have to maintain it. Wow. Because I know the moment that I didn't maintain it, it's gone down the drain right away.
Wow. That, it's interesting because it reminds me of like the Bruce Lee story when he was in hospital as well, and he couldn't do anything but dictate a book. So it's almost like it kind of forces you to do something different from what you would normally do.
Yes, because that's the essence of life. The essence of life is not to slow down. The essence of life is not like saying that, you know what, I'm already reaching a certain goal. Then you just have to relax. There's only two ways in life. Either you're going to go to yin or you're going to go to yang.
Right.
There's no so-called I'm in a yin yang. No, that's only coffee. There's a yin yang coffee. That's the name of the coffee.
Okay.
All right. Yin yang coffee is a Hong Kong coffee, which is they mix the tea and the coffee. That's all yin yang coffee. But there's no so-called.
That sounds disgusting. Let me just throw that one out there. But in reality of life is either you stay with the yang or you immediately going to fall off to yin right away. Okay? If you don't stay guarded with the yang energy, and you're going to start to attract people who are going to start to use you, who are going to start to manipulate you, who are going to start to say things like, oh yeah, Henry, you're a good guy. Let me do this. I had many occasions in the past that, when I was working with a partner. And then at the time I was single. So he was trying to use the writer to seduce me, to make me do what he wanted me to do so that I could give him more money while I will be responsible for all the debt and everything else. Now, this happened like a couple of years ago. This is not happening like 6 months ago or like 10 years ago. This happened like, a couple of years ago. Right.
And I was like, I gave him a warning already. I gave him 2 chances. I always give people 2 chances. If you don't treat me right one time, I will tell you what I don't like.
Yeah.
And then if you don't give me, if you don't treat me right the second time, I will remove you from my life. So that's what I do. So there's a saying, when you treat me right with kind and respect, you will get the gift of my time. When you don't treat me right, you will get the gift of missing me. In many cases, forever.
I love
that's what I do in life.
Right.
So when one of my relatives started to attack me and all these things, I gave her the warning first time, but keep attacking me a second time, forever block. That's what it is. I don't care whether it's a relatives, it's a family, it's a closest friends, it's anybody. If they do that to me, I have to block them, not because I don't like them or I hate them, because I need to protect my own I need to protect my own sanity. I need to make sure that I'm going to be able to fulfill my mission in life.
Right. So it sounds like, obviously it does sound harsh, but there's a very good reason for it. And I think we all come across situations in life where we have like energy vampires.
Yep.
People that come in and they suck up your time and they don't value you. So, it sounds like a really, as hard as it sounds, like a great way just to kind of go, you know what, I'm not going to put up with that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like when I completely agree with you on the energy vampire stuff because you got to protect your yang energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, the yin energy is going to start to bite you slowly. They're going to start to bite your yang energy because they need that. That's called the narcissistic supply. Narcissistic supply means that they need that energy in order to make them feel fulfilled, in order for them to feel in control. If they can get a little bit from you, and that's what they want.
Yeah.
And maybe you cannot see that visibly that it exists, but it exists in a different world. So it means that when your yang energy starting to be taken, then you're going to start to feel drained. You're going to start to feel like something is not right. You're going to feel like itchy here, itchy there. So it's not because you don't like them. You love them. I love my family. I love my parents. I love my dad. I love him, but I cannot be close to him because I knew the consequences of being close to him. But because every message that he gave me was so negative, it will literally make me paralyzed. Okay, so it is that scary. So at one point, when he was talking with me, I became paralyzed. Like, oh, maybe this guy wasn't nice to me. Maybe that person wasn't nice to me. But it was his information that influenced my thought. So I had to stop it. Yeah, I had to protect myself.
And that's obviously step number one, isn't it? It's that whole thing about protecting your energy before you can do anything else.
Well, you don't want to protect it in a way that you block everybody.
Well, that's true. You could block everyone.
That's why you need to give people two chances. Okay. You need to give people two chances. I always I let everybody to be close with me. So at the same time, I create, let's say this right here is my heart. And right here is where I am. I will open up to them slowly. Right. Even with my wife, I didn't trust her from the beginning. I trust her slowly, but she break everything of everything that I concerned about, I worry about. And then she showed me her genuine self, that she actually was in love with me because of me, not because of what I have. That's why go this fast. So, but you cannot close it. Otherwise, you become no different than the person that is that are bad people. You need to make sure that you allow people to come close to you. But when they got into this position itself, like they're getting closer and closer, and that's when you're gonna say, like, you know what? I'm gonna open up this door for you. I'm gonna open up this door for you. I'm gonna open up this door for you. I had this one friend. He told me he was broke and then like this, and like he's in big problem financially and everything else. And I was helping him. I allowed him to work in my company. And then first thing, I didn't give him the whole thing. I opened up one door. Right. Okay. And then see how much he can take. Then when I open up the second door, the third door, and which is about 10 doors that I'm supposed to open. When I open up the third door, I realized that, okay, he doesn't want, he pretty much want to eat me alive. What his idea of, friendship is not so much about benefiting both of us, but he wanted everything to benefit only him. And one last draw was like, Henry, you should probably give me all your list, all your subscriber base. I think it would be a good idea. I was thinking like, okay, you know what? I'm done. And the next day, I called him on the phone. I said, you're fired. Because I gave him many chances. But I put him on the third row in terms of the trust level itself. Once they get into the level 10, he pretty much owned my heart. But in order for that person to do it, you're going to have the trust level built up. Yeah. But you don't want to close down everybody. Otherwise, if you close on everybody, you're going to start to feel like everybody is the same thing. They are not. They are not. They are people who are sincere. They are people who are not sincere. And this person is a longtime friend. I know him for decades. Yet, when he got into the level 2, guess what he did? He's starting to create a political gossip between me and my other employees that already own a trust level from me of level 8. Right. And I said, listen, I know my employee for almost 9 years. I trust him with my heart and with my soul. He's a family to me. He's my younger brother to me. And you want me to fire him? No. I will fire you first if I want to. I was very straightforward to him. But when I open up another door to get into the level 3, I can see already his game. Wow. So that's what you open up one by one. You open up the door. But with my wife, it's just like zoop, level 10 right away.
She just slammed through those doors.
Well, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. That's the power of love.
Yeah.
Your station.
You're listening to SourceLife Show. You can find us on iTunes Radio, Roku TV, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. You can also find us online at sourcelifeshow.com.
Your station.
What advice would you give someone that is looking to find their life purpose?
You have to find your why. Do something first to think about, write down, get a piece of paper and write down on why you are in this world and what is your purpose in life. This is very important because a lot of time is if you don't have your why, you are going to walk your life like a zombie. You have no clue why you're in this world. Okay, you have no clue what is the direction you want to take. Because a lot of time, for me, I know exactly why I'm here. I know exactly why I'm alive in this world. Now, your why may not be as big as mine. Because at a time when after my surgery, my why was to take care of my family. Now, as soon as I'm able to take care of my family, okay, that will be my why. So it means that I need to cook for my wife. I need to make her happy. I need to date her. That was my why. I never thought about having a why where I'm going to transform people's life through my action, through the limitless life. That wasn't my why at all at the time. My why was just very small. Yeah. My mother-in-law why is to do one thing, is to take care of her daughter and her husband. And that's exactly what she did for like almost 30-something years. And guess what happened? Because of that alone, she has a very healthy daughter. And then her daughter, when she got married with me, she looked at me like, okay, my why is to take care of my husband, my daughter, and my son-in-law. And that is her why. So your why can be this small, can go this big. Now, in the past, my why was just going to exercise 3 times a week. So other people will follow my example on going to exercise 3 times a week. Now, once I starting to feel good, about my body and everything else, then I started to say, you know what? My why is to go to kickboxing classes 3 times a week. Then I started to lose weight. Okay, then my why is starting to grow bigger, grow stronger. I added another tooth on it by saying that, my why is to get 4-pack abs. So that everybody else can start to get 4-pack abs. Then, then your why going to get stronger and stronger and stronger along the way. But if you don't start somewhere, then you're going to be walking, what am I going to do today? Hey, maybe just smoke a cigar or just drink the wine. Then you're going to screw up your life. Without you knowing it, you're already like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. So for me, in my life, I start with small thing first. I don't focus on big thing first because I'm just a small guy. Yeah. And I want to then slowly it's going to start to grow on its own. Without you knowing it, you're already there.
Interesting. So literally just start small, and it could just be how do you get through one day, and then it will naturally expand. Yes,
because like let's say I was 238 pounds. My why wasn't like, oh, I wanted to change the world. Yeah, I wanted to transform people's life. No, that's too big for me.
Sure,
because I wasn't even there yet. So my why was, I wanted to exercise 3 times a week consistently for the next 6 months, so that other people around me going to start exercise 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Guess what? After I had a brain tumor surgery, I immediately went to exercise. And then after that, my wife started like, you know what? I haven't exercised for a while. I'm going to go to exercise now. Now she immediately started to wanting to exercise again. And then now I've been, yesterday I exercised, tomorrow I'm going to go to exercise. And it's like, should I join you tomorrow? I said, sure. But I didn't tell her why I did. My why was just written down.
Yeah.
I'm going to exercise 3 times a week so that people around me are going to start to exercise 3 times a week. That was my why. I didn't tell anybody. Then you can add more teeth on it. You're gonna strengthen your why. Then everything gonna be
fantastic.
Awesome.
Just sounds so simple. I mean, it's just, because I think a lot of people, when they look at it and they go, well, what's my purpose? It's the big kind of, why am I on the, and it's huge. And no wonder people struggle to get to that point.
You know why they struggle to get into that point? Because most people are daydreaming. So stop daydreaming. Start from small thing, really. Start from cleaning up your closet. Start from cleaning up your apartment. Like, every week, tomorrow, what my wife will do is to ask me like, okay, we're going to have to clean our place. Every Saturday, I need to do that. Where did she learn that from? From her mom. Her mom will, every Saturday, will do the cleaning. Sunday, she will wash her clothes. And that is the habit for 30-something years. And that is so powerful. And then it like influenced her daughter to do the same thing. And it's not so much about like coming from everybody else. One day when I was doing my braces, guess what happened? I saw a mom was like this. And then her daughter right here was doing the same thing. And then mom said, I told you, you got to study. What are you doing? Why are you still playing the phone? And then her mom get back here. And then her daughter saw her mom keep playing like this. Same thing. It's not so much about what you said. It's about what you do that influence other people. So use your action to influence other people is the best way to go. But you got to be consistent. You got to put yourself with people that love you for who you are. If not, if you are in a bad relationship, give that person 2 chances. If that person doesn't change, move out. If you have a bad friendship that gonna keep using it, tell that person, this is what I want. If that person doesn't change 2 times, after 2 times and keep using you, stay away from that friend. And then it's okay to be alone. Really, it's okay. I was alone by myself for many, many years. Yet I told myself, you're going to keep loving yourself regardless how people don't love you. But as soon as I love myself first, guess what happened? Now I have my godfather, I have my godsister, I have the family, I have my wife, I have my friends, I also have my parents-in-law, and all these things just come together. So when I make a phone call, they, hey, what are you doing? And I said, like, I'm a little bit depressed. This is too much. Henry, I trust you. I know you can do it. Okay, if you need any help, you let me know. Then your mindset, like you were depressed and all of a sudden they pull you up. Then you will never be depressed again. That's very powerful. Okay?
Incredibly powerful. And how fantastic, though, that you could get to that place where you, even in your darkest times, you found a way to fill your own cup, to love yourself, which is something that so many struggle with.
You got to do that. You got to do that. Regardless what you do, don't think about like, Henry can do it. I don't think I can do it. Trust me. You never went through what I went through.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they didn't have a brain tumor before. They had no clue how they felt. And they didn't have like an ex who will laugh, who will leave you after you almost like 90% blind. Okay. Yeah. And you were not on the street, just like what I did. I had no choice but to sleep on somebody's couch for 2 years.
Wow.
And you were not like living with getting 1 penny on the street to get 25 cents in order to get a cupcake. You were not in that position, but I was. I was in that position before, and I knew how you feel. But you may not experience worse than what I felt, what I experienced in my life. But trust me, there's nothing more than thinking about like, your life was down and then you're much better than me. No, we are all here to learn something. We are all here to learn something, that a valuable lesson, which is life. This is what life is. You get to go through it every single day the rest of your life. Okay?
Yeah. Love it. And you also have a foundation as well. Is that right? That's focused
Yes.
on helping children. Can you talk us a bit about that?
It is in the process, which is Save a Soul Foundation. So what I do in here is I came from a broken family because of my dad and so on. And I will say this, a lot of people ask me this, did you hate your dad? No, I didn't hate him. I do want to use him as an example of what not to do in life. He's an example of the yin energy of me. So what happened is I wanted to see what children can do. You know, a lot of children, they came from a family. Based on the statistic, 81% of the family are broken family. So a lot of time when they go to school, they've been bullied and they had no self-confidence. When they go to the society, when they meet narcissistic people or people with a egoistic or arrogant, people are going to start to make fun of them. So I wanted to create that foundation as a foundation to make sure when a kid, they were in struggle, they have no older people or mentor to coach them to become successful. And that foundation itself will dedicate it to that. So I'm in a process to create that foundation itself. I want to make sure that I will contribute most of my money, most of what I have into that foundation, so that every kid can have a healthy life, can have a mentor, can focus on their superpower, can become successful, instead of was like me, who had no mentor for like almost 30 something years. Yeah. So that's what I want to do as a way to give back to the society that I belong.
Fantastic. Sounds absolutely amazing. And where can people find out more about you? What's your website and your social media?
Well, they can go to my website at TheLimitlessLife.com. Okay. Mm-hmm. In that website, I interview a lot of experts. I interview people who used to be limited, had a limited mindset. I also give them a lot of articles of what they can do. I also give them a lot of free gifts on my own story, on what I did to have a limitless mindset. And of course, I want to make sure that you use that as a way to inspire yourself on what you can do the rest of your life to become successful, because you meant for.
Love that. Thank you so much, Henry. Really appreciate you coming on today and sharing all of your knowledge with us. Fantastic interview. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate for having me here. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me, your host, Ayse D, on the SourceLife Show today. We feature experts from around the world in mind, body, spirit, personal growth and business development, and broadcast every Wednesday and Friday across the US. For more, visit SourceLifeShow.com. That's SOURCE lifeshow.com.